All right, everybody, welcome to our week, our third to last week, technically, in the term. That is our week 6. And what we got on tap for this week is very simply your Annabel Lee analysis essay on the Edgar Allan Poe poem. And I have the assignment in the announcement for the week. Basically, you're thinking about the concept of eternal love as it is demonstrated in the poem. We have the speaker, the I in the poem, and then we have the object of the speaker's desires, Annabel Lee, of course, and how the speaker perceives her and how he longs for her and how he proclaims that their love will be everlasting and eternal. How well do you think this idea of eternal, transcendent, love conquers all type of love, how well do you think it is illustrated in the poem? That's basically what I'm asking you to tackle in the essay. Your answer to that question that is in the announcement, that will be the thesis for your essay, and then you build your support paragraph by paragraph around that using lines from the poem. And when you cite lines from a poem in MLA, all you need to do in the parentheses is write the line numbers, okay? You don't even have to say Poe 1 to 2, say it's lines 1 to 2 you're citing. We know what poem you're doing. So you could just mention Edgar Allan Poe once, a couple times in the introduction, and you don't have to keep saying, and then Poe says. Poe's not even the one speaking, by the way. Whenever you are reading a poem and there is an I, a narrator, we call the narrator in a poem a speaker. Okay, so don't ever assume that the person who is speaking or describing the action, narrating, in a poem is the poet, him or herself. Not necessarily true. Now, there is reason to believe that in Annabel Lee, the speaker is most likely Poe himself, based on some biographical information about who Annabel Lee might actually be. Perhaps Poe's wife or some other object of his amorous affections, if you will. So, but I just want to clear up that distinction between speaker and poet, okay? But in any case, whenever you cite lines from a poem, of course, if you're doing a direct quotation, we have the quotation marks, and then there is a slash, okay? A slash is used if you are quoting, say, a couple of lines of verse. So you've quoted your first line, okay? And you're at the end of the first line, about to go into the second line. What demarcates the separation from the first and the second line is that slash that comes right after the first line, right before you start writing the second line that you are citing. And if you want to see this in action, you could look at the relevant sections in Backpack Literature. There's a lot of information in the back of the book dealing with citing all sorts of genres, poetry being one of them. So if you want an actual visual based on what I'm trying to explain to you all, I would consult Backpack on that. Okay. A word on citation, though. Some of you were maybe wondering why the grades are a little low, and when I say low, more B's than usual, okay? B is still good, let's not forget. But many more B's on the first analysis essay than in essays past, the Virginia Woolf essay on a haunted house. The reason why, you guys have to realize you need, when you are analyzing a poem, or a short story, or a play, if you are making some reference to it, okay, either in a paraphrase or in a direct quote, the citation information needs to be in the body, the text of the essay, and that that is either the author's last name for a work of prose in an anthology like ours, the author's last name, so Woolf in this case. And then what I would do is put the paragraph number by her name. Not the page number, because the page number, if you do that in an anthology, it implies that the page number corresponds to a book that Virginia Woolf herself has written the entirety of, okay? But that's not the case. This is an anthology that contains many works of literature by many different authors. So if you put Woolf 356, as a reader, what it tells me is, oh, this is page 356 of a book by Virginia Woolf. But that's not the case. The book is actually by the editors, Sherman, Alexander, and Goya, I believe, are the names. I might be spacing on the names there. The book is right in front of me. Let me correct that. X.J. Kennedy and Dana Gioia. Okay. So the editor's last names, if you want to quote the actual page number, they would accompany the page number in the case of an anthology like ours. But if you wanted to use the author's name, I would put the paragraph number, because that way, no matter where we find the Woolf story, whether it's in this anthology, whether it's in some other literary journal, the paragraph number is always going to remain the same. Okay, she wrote the story with a certain structure, a certain organization, so the paragraph numbering will never change, no matter what source it's found in. Okay, now for a poem, you don't have to worry about the page number, because we're just concerned with the lines for citation. Okay, so you don't have to worry about adding the editors or writing the page number, so it shouldn't be Poe page 609, okay, if you're citing from the poem, which you should be doing. That is a requirement for the assignment. You need to cite from the poem. That means giving in-text citations and a works cited page that is formatted correctly if you want an A. Okay, keep that in mind, all right? So it'll be the line numbers in parentheses. Now for the play, Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, of course, you have the entirety of the play at your disposal, and you're welcome to use the other parts of the play, but our focus, reminder, is on Act 2, Scene 1, where Faustus makes the deal with the devil, as it were, okay? Mephistopheles, a devil, okay, but he is Lucifer's diplomat or emissary, whatever you want to call him. But in a play, in parentheses, first it's the act, so 2, okay, period. Then it's the scene, so 1 in this case, period. And following that are the line numbers, okay? And again, if you want clarification on this, the back of the book in Backpack Literature should have a place where you guys can understand how to cite from plays, how to cite from poetry, how to cite from prose, what have you. Okay, so please use the back of the book as a resource for your citation guidance. Okay, or come to me. At least one student came to me about how to cite lines of a poem, and I instructed that student. So just let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help you. Okay, so essay on Annabel Lee due by the end of the week, due by Sunday, so after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. Enjoy it. Enjoy the time with your friends and family and loved ones. It'll be due Sunday. What's after that? We'll probably have an assignment. I'll probably have you guys do the questions that come after Act 2, Scene 1 in Backpack Literature, the Faustus snippet that's in the book, the basis on which our essay is focused. There are some questions that come after that scene. I'll probably assign those for next week. There might be one other voluntary discussion board on your research experiences related to Dr. Faustus. And when I say voluntary, I'm just going to make it so where if you participate fully, okay, you get the credit. And if you don't, I just won't give you a grade, okay? So that might very well be the last assignment leading up to the essay, which is due on the 9th, December 9th, don't forget, Sunday. So I believe that is a comprehensive picture of what we have left, more or less. So I hope you guys are starting your research, maybe starting to formulate a thesis, and you could always come to me with questions on that. You want clarification perhaps on the instructions in Blackboard, the parameters for the paper. I'm not a mind reader. You have to reach out to me, okay? And I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. So happy writing, happy reading, happy spending time with your family. A blog is also up this week. I don't want to forget that. I've been forgetting the blogs in these video announcements. The blog, again, is for bonus on the final essay. Anything you want to sound off on any of the past readings, on Annabelle Lee, on A Haunted House, the poetry block, the slate of poems I gave you guys for last week, whatever you got, let's hear it on the blog for extra points. Okay, that is all I have, I believe. So I will see you guys, as a matter of speaking, figure of speech, I will see you guys next Sunday with a new announcement. The end is nigh. Prepare, do well, and have fun with your family. And happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye, everybody.